What's up, guys, and welcome back to Rougefx. Today we're looking at GBPJPY. This trade is going to be obviously taken from the Asian session. Ended up getting a few entries, maybe like 3 entries, which resulted into a 3 to 10. So obviously the return on investment was well over 10%, which is pretty well. It's pretty decent, honestly, especially a week from Christmas. It's actually ridiculous. It's something to be very grateful for. Being able to use this skill set to obviously profit, and as well as teach and share my gifts with the world, in a sense, because I mean, obviously, one, with this channel, two, with other platforms, I am obviously looking to grow within time, of course. Before we go ahead and get started, what I want to pretty much emphasize is just how simple or simplistic this approach, I mean, one, looks, two, it really is. When you obviously have your rules mastered, as well as, you're able to identify your rules just like the back of your hand, pretty much, or pretty much it kind of carry a second nature feeling, I guess you can say. It kind of makes you wonder, what you were doing all those years before you, obviously, develop the understanding that you currently have. It's just about, anything, right? That's schoolwork. That is, life in general. That's dealing with relationships, and it helps you realize, life, as well as obviously investing, forex, currencies, or whatever you invest in. It's all about experiences, right? All about gaining that overall understanding. I guess you could say mental clarity in any kind of situation, and obviously using that to avoid, or maybe not avoid, but understand your lessons, and at that point avoiding unnecessary casualties, detrimental decisions, as far as, in this case, money, but I mean, of course, within life as well, because obviously money is just, a universal form of trade. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, because we do aim to post consistently, and it only means you can check out our latest video. Be sure to ring that post notification bell to stay updated on all our videos. Early access to the subscription-based membership is available currently. However, we are officially launching January 1st of 2023. Going into the new year, I'm not too sure what I want to do for real. Maybe I'll throw in a promo, get a discounted percentage off of, just starting the new year right. If this video, or if we get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, obviously the 31st, I believe, I would definitely throw out a beginning of the year promo. Everyone looking to, obviously begin their New Year's resolutions with Forex, and, taking a new and improved approach to earning money, as far as, obviously away from the 9 to 5, away from, salary, and really just kind of embracing profits as more of a necessity. Because, like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of things have been hyper inflated, as far as, groceries, gas prices, but obviously it's came back down a little bit, as well as just buying anything in general, especially here in the United States. A lot of it is pretty expensive, and as we are, I don't want to say forced, but we're led to think that we need these, jobs that are very much mundane, and very much, to an extent, kind of soul sucking. I mean, it's just, it doesn't necessarily feed my spirit or anyone. I mean, I feel like, the people that I've talked to, doesn't necessarily do much for, improving your overall sense of worth, so a sense of self value. Your spirit. Does it ignite a flame within your spirit? And a lot of the times the answer to that question is no, and it can very much be very depressing, and just bewildering, really, only because it's kind of like a why factor. Like, why am I, why is my life like this? Why is my life such a joke? Why is this world, or I should say this country, if you really obviously live in the United States, why are we obviously promoting or publicizing democracy, but definitely residing within a capitalism spectrum? It's kind of weird, right? Because I mean, it's all about the almighty dollar, but at the end of the day, I mean, we're still saying, or obviously being told that obviously our votes matter. We're being told that change will come, but I mean, year 2022, 2023, dang there, and people are still struggling. People are still sick. People are still on the streets. People are still, homeless or, hungry, and it's just weird because, I mean, like, to have celebrities be a thing, to have, like, things like that, it's just, it doesn't make any sense. And I'm here to open a lot of people's eyes to actually how a world with grand possibilities, with limitless thinking, limitless belief systems, really opening the horizons of your mind and stretching and expanding your consciousness to the furthest extent to help you understand that uncertainty really is where it's at. Because with uncertainty, or really a probabilistic mindset, you can understand that, you're going to win, you're going to lose. But, with a proper edge, with a systematic trading system, with a obviously a mentor or a guide, you can definitely adjust to this way of living. You can adjust to this way of seeing reality and heighten your frequency to a certain extent, right? Because at that point, you're one with, at a point, unity consciousness, right? Because you're no longer, dependent. Instead, you are self-sufficient. And that, I mean, to me, that's godlike. That's understanding that you are one with God. You are understanding, or it is understanding that you have the power to create not only obviously money opportunity, abundance opportunity, but within that you have the ability to create your reality and how you obviously react or respond to that reality. And that, of course, creates more of what either you like or you don't like. I mean, it really just depends on of your overall, I guess you could say, attitude towards life, right? Do you approach life with a more optimistic, I like to say irrationally optimistic stance, or are you more pessimistic and more towards the negative end of the spectrum? And that's just like I said, understanding you, going within and understanding you as a being, as a person, as an energy, as an entity, right? Because you are a thing that is very much alive, breathing, and enough of that rant. I just wanted to let y'all know, or really kind of just help y'all gauge in a little bit of to who I am, and my stance on a lot of ideologies that I kind of come with. I mean, it's just how I view the world. I'm not telling you how to view the world. I'm not trying to coerce you to feel, or however, this is just, I mean, trading is my life, right? This is how I grew to understand myself as a person, as an individual. And this is just kind of like, how I express myself, if that makes sense, right? Moving on to obviously the setup, right? This was a long setup taken around Asian session, around 7 p.m. It was a pretty simple setup, honestly. Uh, as you can see, these dots representing the range, of course, as well as money being transferred, right? Or I should say price rebalancing, right? As you can see, before that, price, obviously retested this unmitigated wick, which, I mean, before that we definitely have, or I guess you say underneath that, we definitely have an slanted low, which acts as liquidity, of course, which gives us pretty decent amount of confirmation that we're definitely going to continue towards the highs. As you can see, price fails to break the overall high to the left. However, I mean, if I'm really looking at it, we did get a wick. So to an extent, we have a choke. Price retest provides a bit of a imbalance, or price inefficiency continues higher. At this point, this acts as a weak low because, I mean, this weak, or I should say this low in general, did not break the low before. It broke a weak low or intermediate low. Or really, if I take my fib and, obviously bring it back, stretch it out a little bit. Oops, sorry about that. My fib, bring it back. We didn't even break a choke. So to an extent, price literally just builds up liquidity, whether that be equal highs, whether that be through candle formation, and then, obviously manipulated out of that, which is fine. It's just accumulation, AMD pattern pretty much, right? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. In doing that, price definitely took out internal range liquidity, being, obviously that trend line, rebalancing price. Of course, it definitely reacted off of this rejection block. But if I take the rejection block and flip it upside down, oh, I'm sorry, it's not that one. I'm sorry. If I take this rejection block and obviously signify the breaker within obviously this sponsored candle, significant POI, and or I'm gonna just call it a breaker, right? And this is just with experience and understanding price action at a pretty decent level, right? It's literally price just rebalancing itself off of this right shoulder, right? And then continuing higher, we obviously get a choke, we obviously retest, establish a weak low, and to the left take out internal range liquidity and continue higher. This at this point is providing a choke as well as a breaker structure, just confirming that our bullish intent is very much it's very much prevalent, right? It's a thing and it's definitely on its way. So how do we prepare for that? Well, as you can see, we have our strong high, our strong low, and as you can see, we have our weak highs, right? What makes these highs weak? Well, do these highs, I mean, obviously, these two highs didn't take out this high to the left, right? So that makes these two highs weak, of course. However, if we obviously go back out, this is actually going to be the 1 minute, but if I go to like the 5 minute, you can definitely see towards the left. I mean, price definitely did not take out this high to the left. If anything, price is definitely it's trending, which, I mean, in a case it did, obviously break out of this trend. However, price was still definitely pushing bearish overall, and our overall target was really this week high, if I'm being honest. This week high was our target. Why? Because this high take out this high to the left? Of course not, right? This is a strong high. This then becomes a weak high. This weak high becomes a target on lower time frames. And of course, that would just confirm our overall target towards the highs. This fib was pretty simple. I literally just took it backwards and obviously stretched it out. It's pretty simple, guys. Do not get this confused. It's fairly easy. This approach is meant to be simple. It's meant to be easily grasped, but it's going to take time. It's going to take its time. It's like learning pretty much anything. Again, understand that a lot of the times, especially in the lower time frames, you're going to find these setups that, I mean, a lot of times you're going to catch a counter trend, which is, I mean, if anything, it's just as good as, the pro trend, of course. Only because, I mean, you can, one, secure profit, two, where you're going to take your overall, your target, of course. And there's not necessarily a TP1, 2, or 3. It's literally just taking out internal range liquidity, right? However, we would obviously have to, zoom out. If anything, go to like the 15. Only here will you be able to look left and understand where price actually reacted from, right? Which in this case, price reacted to this unmitigated wick, and obviously taking out this internal range liquidity. Pretty simple. And then continuing lower to where lower pricing, or I should say, and or this unmitigated, I don't want to say unmitigated, I would like to say inefficient price action, right? As you can see, we came here and stopped out of nowhere, but not necessarily. As you can see, we definitely have an imbalanced fill that just happened to take place, not necessarily just to confuse you, so you understand. When you understand that, you understand why the price moves how it moves, why price does what it does, and it's really just because it's just it operates off of an algorithm that I very much do teach on this channel, as well as in my subscription-based membership. Again, if you haven't already, the waiting room is definitely in the description below. I offer mentorship for full-time and part-time traders. If you do feel like you are one of those people that are called, right? And this is just understanding that every Forex mentor that you have, definitely come across had their fair share of profitable traders. If you feel like you are called, or you feel like you are, for whatever reason, supposed to be one of those people that end up on the profitable end of, Forex trading in general, because not a lot of people are at that, level, right? Definitely hit that waiting room, and then definitely DM me for early access if you do feel the need to start ASAP, right? Especially, if you feel the passion, if you feel like, dang, like this is something that I want to do, this is something I want to learn. I want to learn how simple this Forex thing can actually be. Definitely DM me in the domain down in the description below. Definitely get you set up, get you your role adjusted, as well as get you on a introduction call and help you understand the ins and outs of Roguefx, and help you expedite your journey as not as fast as possible, of course, but definitely as efficient as possible, to help you retain all your information and really just gain a grip on these markets, right? That, at some case in your trading career, what's being presented, it's just, the knowledge was hidden for a long time, and I'm just now putting it out. And for those who, are willing to work, they will definitely have a skill set that will maximize their bank accounts. And for those who need help or need that extra assistance, I very much am here to obviously guide and help people understand themselves, not even like necessarily the strategy, but themselves, right? Because what's a profitable trading system without a profitable trading mindset, right? I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, because we do aim to post consistently. Definitely ring that post notification bell, stay updated on all our videos. However, if you leave here without learning a single thing, I want you to understand how the practicality of these markets lead to an unlimited, or I guess you could say a plethora of opportunity within these markets, right? And at that point, I mean, the opportunity becomes your, or I'm not gonna say the opportunity, but the Forex markets become your oyster. Of course, use risk management. Of course, practice consistency. Of course, nothing is guaranteed within these markets, obviously. However, there will become a time where you realize that there's not much else that I can really learn from the markets. However, that's when you stop and, of course, stop looking out for external validation. Stop looking for, obviously pattern recognition, this, that, and a third that's obviously presented and obviously in the back of your mind. And in a sense, go within and start analyzing your behavioral patterns. Start analyzing how you react or respond to, the things these markets present to you. Because at the end of the day, that it's pretty important, right? Because if you can't control yourself, you definitely won't be able to make it within these markets, and that's just the hard truth, right? Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for all the love and support. Until next time on Jody FX, y'all have a good night.